The night shift had just begun. Miles Turner, a 38-year-old single dad, quietly pushed his cleaning cart down the marble hallway of Harrington Enterprises, one of the city's biggest tech firms. He wasn't supposed to be here, not in this glittering world of glass walls and designer suits. But he had to be. His 6-year-old daughter, Lily, was waiting at home, asleep with a stuffed bunny in her arms, and rent was due in 2 days. Miles had once dreamed of being an engineer. But after his wife passed away in a car accident 5 years ago, dreams took a back seat. Life became about survival, about Lily. Tonight, though, something was different. He was cleaning the top-floor conference room, the CEO's domain, when he accidentally knocked over a bucket of water. It splashed across a sleek silver laptop sitting on the table. His heart stopped. "Oh, no, no, no," he muttered, grabbing paper towels in panic. Just then, the glass door opened, and in walked Claire Harrington, the CEO herself. Late 30s, elegant in a tailored navy suit, every step radiating authority. "What happened here?" she asked sharply. Miles froze. "Ma'am, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize this was yours. I'll pay for the damage. You'll what? Do you even know how much that laptop costs?" she snapped. He swallowed hard. "No, ma'am, but I'll try. I can take extra shifts," she sighed, clearly frustrated, and pressed the power button. Nothing. Dead. But when she turned the laptop slightly, she noticed something on the darkened screen's reflection. A photo. It wasn't her reflection. It was a child's. A little girl smiling, missing a front tooth taped to the corner of the laptop. "Who's this?" Claire asked. Miles hesitated. "That's my daughter, Lily. I keep her picture with me. Motivates me when I'm tired." For the first time, her tone softened. "You bring your daughter's photo to work?" He nodded, embarrassed. "I take this laptop to the break room sometimes." "It's mine, ma'am. Just looks like yours, same brand. I was trying to fix it with borrowed parts from old office junk. She wants to learn computers, and I wanted to surprise her with one that works." Her eyes widened. "Wait, you made this from discarded office parts?" He nodded again. "Yeah, I know I shouldn't, but I just wanted her to have something better." There was a pause, the kind that makes you rethink everything. Claire looked around the spotless room. She noticed the meticulous care in every corner, the shine of the table, the symmetry of the chairs. He wasn't just cleaning, he was caring. "Do you have a background in tech?" she asked quietly. Miles blinked. "A degree in computer engineering. Dropped out halfway to take care of my family. Never got back to it." Something in her shifted. She looked down at the dead laptops, and suddenly the frustration melted into realization. He wasn't careless. He was trying. The next morning, Miles received a message from HR. "Report to the CEO's office." He assumed he was fired. When he entered, Claire stood by the window holding a sleek new laptop. "Miles," she said, "I reviewed your records. You've never missed a day of work in 3 years. You've repaired broken office machines, fixed the elevators twice, and never asked for extra pay." He nodded nervously. "I'm sorry about last night. I understand if—" She interrupted. "That laptop wasn't damaged. IT recovered it." She smiled gently. "But what was on your laptop reminded me of something I'd forgotten. Humanity." Miles looked confused. Claire continued. "I started this company to change lives. Somewhere along the way, I forgot that people like you are the real foundation. I'd like to offer you something. A full scholarship to complete your engineering degree, and a part-time role in our tech department." He stared at her, speechless. "You're serious?" "Completely," she said. "Just promise me one thing. Build your daughter a better future." Tears welled in his eyes. "Thank you, ma'am. I won't waste this chance." Months later, a smiling Lily ran into her father's arms at the office lobby. He was no longer wearing a janitor's uniform, but a blue engineer's badge. Claire watched from a distance, smiling as Lily hugged him tight and said, "Daddy, you fixed computers now?" He chuckled. "No, sweetheart. We fix lives." Claire stood by the window, watching the city lights flicker far below. Something about Miles lingered in her mind. His quiet honesty, the way he'd held himself accountable without excuses. She had met hundreds of people in her career, but very few had that kind of dignity. She opened her inbox again, scrolling past dozens of unread emails until she found the internal report from facilities management. It mentioned how Miles often stayed after hours fixing broken printers, repairing office lights, and helping other janitors without ever logging overtime. There were even notes about him refusing bonuses, saying, "Someone else probably needs it more." For the first time in years, Claire felt a lump in her throat. That evening, as the office emptied out, she walked through the quiet hallways and found Miles mopping the lobby floor. He quickly straightened up when he saw her. "Ma'am, good evening." "I didn't expect—" "I wanted to talk," she said softly. "Do you ever get tired of doing everything alone?" He smiled faintly. "Every day. But I look at Lily and somehow it's worth it." Claire nodded slowly. "You know, I grew up with a single mom. She cleaned offices too. That's how I learned what real strength looks like." For a long moment, neither of them spoke. The sound of the mop gliding across the tile filled the silence like a quiet rhythm of understanding. The next week, Miles began his new role as a maintenance technician. It was a small step, but one that changed everything. He worked mornings in the tech department and nights studying online for his degree. Claire often passed him in the hallway, offering a brief smile, not as a CEO to an employee, but as someone who believed in him. One Friday afternoon, she found Lily waiting in the lobby with a small handmade card. The little girl ran up to her and said shyly, "Thank you for helping my daddy." Claire knelt down, her eyes misty. "He's the one helping all of us, sweetheart." Years later, Harrington Enterprises launched a community program providing education and training for underpaid workers, janitors, clerks, assistants, and anyone who wanted a second chance. The initiative was Miles's idea, and Claire named it Project Lily. Every time Miles walked past the glass plaque bearing his daughter's name, he smiled quietly. Because once upon a time, a spilled bucket of water had nearly cost him his job. But instead, it had washed away the walls between two very different worlds. And somewhere, deep down, both of them knew that kindness had changed everything.